What is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to the first episode of the Asia 8. This is a brand new series here on my channel for Football Manager 2014 where we attempt to win the top tiers of the 8 countries playable based in Asia on Football Manager 2014. Starting unemployed with past playing experience set to Sunday League footballer, I'm going to attempt to build a career in Asia, starting at the very bottom and then ultimately trying to win the Asian Champions League with a club and maybe try and win the World Cup with a national team in Asia. So this is a challenge for the long run. This is going to be my challenge which runs for the entire of Football Manager 2014. I did contemplate doing the Pentagon again. However, last year I had one of my fondest kind of, Football Manager 2013 moments managing Beijing IT, hence my favourite team here. I'd love to be able to make a return to that team, but we are starting unemployed. So, what I'm going to do now, guys, is obviously I'm starting unemployed. There are jobs available here. I need to work out if I can actually realistically get any of these jobs, see which ones look like tempting prospects. And yeah, we'll go from there. So guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm now going to go on holiday. I'm not going to bother doing all the job interviews because I'm probably actually going to be applying for hundreds of jobs and doing interviews for a few months. So I'll come back once I found the team that I kind of think fits what I need for a starting team in this save. So anyway, let's get straight into things. I have done the meeting with my assistant, but I literally have no idea what to anticipate going into this side. I'm just going to stick with my recommended captains for now, Maiselan and Jasny. I'm hoping that I'm getting these pronunciations right. Obviously, Singapore isn't exactly my home nation, but I'm hoping that in the long run I can learn to pronounce names properly. I think that's going to be half the challenge with this save, to be honest. I don't think that, well, I do think that the whole thing's going to be a challenge, but I think what's going to be just as challenging as some of the teams that we might end up at is going to be just saying some of these names. But anyway, we'll have a look at the league rules first, because that's usually a good thing to do in these obscure leagues. So we're in the Singaporean league here. There are 27 matches played. The league splits after 22 games into a top and bottom half. So there's 12 teams in the league. You play each other twice. Then the teams split into a top 6 and a bottom 6. And then you play the teams in your half one more time. So in total, 27 games, which is a fairly short season. Nothing funny going on with the points per wins. Trialists are allowed to play in matches, so I assume that means that we haven't got any registration rules. Maximum of 6 foreign players. League sorting rules are fairly standard. Qualification, that's obviously Group A and Group B. 1 match ban for every 4 yellow cards, which is actually lower than the 5 it is in England and most kind of big leagues. And then there's a 1 match ban for red cards as well, so that's not too bad. In terms of the transfer window, you can see here we've missed the ticket on the transfer window. It doesn't reopen until the 7th of January, so we're going to have to deal with what we have here. So let's have a look at this team and see what it is that we have. Oh, blimey. What have we got here? This is why I love managing these obscure leagues. If you're new around here, you've never seen me do this before. But one of my favourite things in FM is to just manage in obscure leagues. So first thing I'm noticing here, just sorting my players by ability, is the fact that we have 3 strikers. So it looks like we're going to be playing with 3 centre forwards. I also promised the board I was going to play a direct attacking style of play. So it looks like my kind of style of play is already being decided for me based off the players that we have. I'm hoping that one of these strikers might be able to play centre attack in middle, though that isn't looking likely. Diallo, you can kind of play there. Okay, I suppose we should have a look at the best player before we look too much at players' attributes. So we have Igor Sorina here. He has a contract that expires in 2015. He doesn't look too bad. 24, Croatian, no caps, but low wages, pretty solid. Can win the ball in the air. Looks like he could be a useful centre-back. Good physicals, which is going to be important in this league, I feel. And then the core attributes for, I guess, a centre-back of heading, marking and tackling are all there. So at least we have a rock at the back. We have then Diallo, who's the player I looked at a second ago, who can play centre attack in mid. Oh dear, this isn't looking great. Some okay physicals, might be able to outpace a lot of the players in the league. Has good heading as well, so that might lend him well to winning the ball in the air. 8 finishing though isn't great. We have Leon Shotton here, who's English. Wow, an English guy in Singapore. Where has he played? He's played in the non-league leagues of England, playing for Kidsgrove. Got a big reputation, that club. I've never even heard of Kidsgrove, but apparently he did enough to impress Hougang FC into signing him this season. So far 16 appearances. That's another thing I should point out, that we are joining halfway through the season here, but that's not too bad. Next player, Jerome Baker, under 21 Canadian player, £400 a week this guy's on. Looks like he's got some fairly balanced technicals, half decent physicals as well, some nice pace, so that is something we might be able to exploit teams with. But at the moment I'm not too inspired by what we have. There's definitely room for manoeuvre, but we obviously have got this first season to see out. Here we have our first Singaporean player, Azhar Serudin. Looks like an okay central midfielder. Fairly balanced technicals. I mean, you look at these, there's a lot of 9s and there's a lot of 8s, and whilst his stats maybe on the graph don't look amazing, he looks like he could be of use to us, and he can play both slightly attackingly and slightly further back, so he's a little bit resourceful in that essence. We then have Sobri Maislam, who looks okay. I think this guy was one of the players I selected as captain. 11 finishing, not got the pace that some of my other strikers have, and I'm already noticing a real abundance of strikers here, which is a little bit concerning that we have just so many, but we'll see what we can do here. He can play on the right or left as well, so I am kind of thinking I might try an isometric tactic here, but he doesn't look too bad. Anyway, Tom Beattie, central midfielder and another English player. Where are you from, sir? I recognise this name. Oh, he played for Hull years ago but never made any progress, and now he's decided to play for Hougang. Well, he doesn't look too bad. He has some okay physicals. 12 creativity in this league is pretty special, to be honest, and combined with his pace, he's going to be a very useful player at centre mid. We then have Suleiman, I think that's his name. Sayakir Suleiman, I don't know. These names, I'll be pronouncing them by the end of it, but this guy, another Singaporean, looks like he could be useful as well. I think what's going to actually be useful now is if we start drawing out, I guess, a team shape based off the players we have. So we have Serena, who is the centre-back, who I said was very good. I'm playing him at centre-back, not right-back. I think he'll be a waste player in there. We then have Diallo, who can play false 9. I already said about playing 3 up top. I'm thinking this might be the shape we go with, just off the players we have. We also have Shotton and Baker, who can both play up front. Baker looks like he's going to be useful as a poacher. Shotton looked like he had some okay aerial ability. 15 jumping is going to be pretty huge for us, so I'm hoping he can outmuscle a lot of the players in the league. And he also has a tiny bit of play, so I think target man might be a good role for him, actually. I also love the fact on Ep.1 that when you click a player, you can see their recommended roles based off their stats. So I'm actually now going to switch Baker to a poacher because I can just see that deep line forward isn't going to work for him. And then I think we're going to go with an advanced forward on Diallo as well. So now moving on to the rest of the team. Maislan can play centre attack in mid. Then we'll go with this guy, Azhar, centre mid. I'm probably going to end up nicknaming a hell of a lot of these players, if I'm honest. I'm thinking we're going to probably play fairly attackingly here. Now I look at it, there just seems to be a real abundance of attacking players at our disposal, which I guess isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it'd be nice if we could have a little bit more variety when it comes to our players. I'm just wondering if I might try and play a 3-4-3 or a 3-1-2-1-3. I mean, the thing is, we're in Singapore, which is worth remembering because it does mean that kind of, I guess, just in general, players are more physical, and it does mean that leagues have slightly weird formations that can be played and still work effectively just because the quality of players is very different. The big area for concern for me at the moment is certainly the goalkeeper area. We look a little bit worse for wear there, but besides our defensive frailties, we don't look as bad as perhaps I was anticipating. I'll show you guys the league in a second, but I think that's going to be the basics of our team for now. Because we don't have any fullbacks. That's the other thing. We have so many centre-backs that 3 centre-backs is just going to be the only option, which is not necessarily the greatest situation to find ourselves in the world, but I'm sure we can make it work for us. It's just a case of how I want to go about making it work for us, I suppose. I might go with that. Not exactly conventional, but we really don't have that many useful players. If I go on our team report, I think I can get a summary. I can't get a summary because no matches have been played. Well, that's just jolly brilliant. We do have the best work rate in the league, and we do have the worst passing, which means that I am kind of leaning towards the direct style of play that I promised the board. Here's a quick look at the league table before I go back on the tactics. So as you can see here, we were 8th favourite to win in the league. At the moment, we find ourselves in 6th place of the 12 teams. We are 5 points ahead of Warriors FC with how many games? 5 games left until the split. So if we could just make it into the top half of the split, that would be really good for us. And I definitely feel as if we can maybe take a little bit of momentum from that into next season. But I mean, this season's just about consolidating ourselves, finding a formation that works. We definitely have a lack of players though, especially at the back. That's the big area, particularly when you come to these really random leagues in FM. You'll find that they don't have the balance that other leagues have, be that because maybe players aren't scouted properly or whatever, but you'd assume in real life that this team does have some fullbacks. It just seems like in this instance I've got the short straw, but all in all the squad kind of looks okay. In terms of going forward, I think we'll be good there. I just need to sort out the roles now of these players really. Sillerman, ball-winning midfielder in centre mid is his preferred role. We'll play that. If centre midfielder set to defend works for him, well, that's okay. Serudin, I'm going to train you at centre mid. This season's more going to be about just getting players trained in the positions that they need to play, I suppose. There's going to be some real changes, I guess, in the summer. I've still got my staff to sort out after this, but I mean, just looking at the team at the moment, I do feel as if there's definitely some room for improvement, I guess. I don't want to play this, but I think I might play a really, really overly defensive tactic, but I don't have enough defensive midfielders. There's definitely a problem at the back which is going to have to be addressed, but it just feels like at the moment that isn't going to be possible. We're going to go defensive, I think. I think we're going to have to go defensive in terms of our midfield. Something like this could work for us, I feel. It's not exactly a conventional tactic, but you never know with these kind of things. You've got to try stuff new, particularly in these divisions. With this series, I'm not going to be doing like match updates all the time. It's more going to be recaps over what happens in the periods. Because the leagues in Asia are very small, the seasons are a lot shorter, which means I can get a lot further into the future with this save, which means that the ball is always kind of rolling on it. That was one thing that I experienced in the Pentagon last year, was the fact that I guess I was stuck in Brazil for 2 seasons, but in Brazil in 2 seasons you end up playing easily up to 80 games, which is just painful for you guys to watch, and it's painful for me to play 80 games a year. It really does drag on a little bit. So anyway, looking at our side, I'm trying to look at some positives here. If there is a positive I have, it's that it's quite apparent where we need to improve in the next window, and that is just our defence. We do not have defenders. That is a big problem, but all in all, I'm kind of liking the shape that we have of the team. Now it's going to be the best for the time being. I'm probably going to be playing on counter and rigid, and then hit teams on the break by exploiting the middle, just play really narrow. Similar to how I played at Watford in many ways, but it's going to be our best bet. We don't have the best team in the world, and for that very reason we're going to be very much relying on, I guess, our squad that we have to do well this opening stage of the season. This season is just going to be about kind of surviving. Obviously our aim is to consolidate our finish. If we can maintain a top 6 finish, that would be on par with the board's expectations, so I'm very hopeful we can do that. Because in Singapore there's only 1 league as well, it does mean that there is quite a lot of potential to improve season on season. I did look at kind of the players available for us, and there's certainly a wide selection of players that we can potentially sign. We don't have the biggest wage budget and transfer budget ever, but there is room to manoeuvre there. But I mean, all in all, looking at the positives, we definitely have a very good attack. That is going to be something that we have to use to our advantage, which is kind of leaning me to maybe not play on counter now I think about it, and just go a direct attacking play. I think our aim is just going to be to outscore opposition teams. I think that's going to be the best way we can do it. We don't have the best passing in the league, but we do have some of the best finishers, and we do have some of the best work rates, so hopefully our players can work hard. But that is going to be our team for now. I'm not going to make too many more changes. Just a quick look at our league table. Maislan is the top goal scorer for our team, although his stats are one of the worst, but he has got 7 so far this season. Then you have Diallo, Shotton and Serena, who is the centre-back, all contributing as well nicely with goals. Looking at the league table, obviously I don't want to take this with too much seriousness because I actually believe this is the league table based off what it is at the moment in real life. The reason I say this is because I set the league to start in August, and because of the way the FM database works and the fact they use real world fixtures, I'm pretty certain, but I'm not 100% sure, that when I started the game at the start of June, that was how the league looked in real life, and so from there it's obviously simulated a little bit, and this is where we've ended up. But at the moment, 6th place is pretty rosy. I now need to take a look at my staff. There's probably not going to be too much change I can make here in terms of the staff budgets, but we will see what we can do. Reserves manager is this guy. Has decent working with youngsters and decent man management, Johan Yori. Or Yari. He looks okay. I'm going to keep him for now. I wasn't expecting anything special on the staff front. I probably won't replace any of these staff unless they're unbearably bad. Who are you? You were not in our team. Have we got a reserve team that I've not checked? Yeah, we have. We have a right back. Oh dear. A right back. Well, that's just bloody brilliant. I'm going to promote him anyway, just so we have another defender. I'm not expecting anything special here or in our youth team, but you never know. Oh, look at that, 1.5 star potential. Let's go. Worryingly, he's not actually that bad, so we might have an okay selection of players waiting in our reserves and stuff. If worse comes to worse in these leagues, kind of the difference between the bad players who are average and the very bad players isn't actually that big, which can sometimes play into your favour, particularly if you're struggling with a first team, because occasionally in the regen dates you'll really get an absolute star player. But anyway, looking at the rest of our team, assistant manager is Nahar Dowd. Doesn't look too bad. Decent level of discipline, decent motivating, decent adaptability. I'm liking the look of this staff. At goalkeeping coach we have Hassan. You are very good. 60 caps for Singapore. 12 goalkeeping is a pretty decent stat for at this level, and some other good stats like level of discipline as well. We also have this guy, Robert, oh dear Jack, Eziokor, who is a staff member. He's also playing for us. I believe he's playing up front for us. This is a bit worried. Where is this guy? He's not here. Is he in the reserves? Eziokor. I've got players listed as staff who aren't coming up in the team lineup. That might be a bug with the game that we have to deal with. That's odd, very odd actually, that the staff members aren't showing up. Apparently he does play for us. Maybe if I offer him a new contract. I'm going to have to look at this in my own time. If I just offer him a job. I don't know why this is the case. I'm going to have to look into this, but it does look like some of our players/coaches just aren't appearing in our lineup. They're not crazy players, but it's a little bit annoying that they're here, but I can't change them. We have a female physio from England. We're repping it up in England here. She has pretty good level with discipline, but crap physiotherapy. So, okay fitness coaching, okay determination. We'll keep her for now. And then chief scout, we have this guy, and I'm replacing you instantly. We have to pay 10,000. Oh yeah, they mutually terminate. Okay, he wants to terminate for 4K. I might have accidentally advanced today then, looking at this. I need to find a staff member who's going to be our physio quickly. Our scout. I know what I mean. Just not the right words coming out of my mouth at the moment. Okay, so you look like you could be a scout. Chief scout, £170. Take the bait. Chief scout, £70. Yearly wage rise, 15%. Look at it. It's a great deal. Take the deal. Do it. I will get this guy in as a scout. Either that or I'm going to piss him off immensely. 25% wage increase. Oh, he's withdrawn. Okay, I pissed him off. Then there's this guy. I don't want to have to pay compensation for stealing someone else's physio. Physio. Scout. Why do I keep saying physio? It's just a word on my mind. We've got a regen guy here. Maybe he'll be our chief scout. Come to the club. Come to the club, please. Please do it. Please. There are no scouts who can actually scout. They're all coaches. All of them. Why are you all coaches? You're on £15 a week. Right, let's get you in. You will come to us. £140 to be reserve manager. How about £170 to be chief scout? Oh my god, okay. I'm going to knock it down again. And still we have no scouts. I'm not going to cancel his contract because I can't get in a replacement. Brilliant. But no, guys, this is a little introduction, I suppose, to Hougang FC. I'm guessing the next update's going to be after the split in the league, and I'll keep you guys updated with what's happening. It could be interesting to see how this tactic gets on, as I've never tried it before, but I am excited to see what we can do at this club. This is really going to be an interesting series. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. My intentions are, once this series has kind of got off and running, that I will have other series that come in. Probably one from a club based in England, although at the moment on YouTube and stuff, there's a lot of YouTubers doing a lot of leagues and a lot of Championship and Premier League teams, and then there's also people live streaming stuff like Crew. So I'm not entirely sure who I'm going to manage yet, but for now we are going to be sticking with this save. Hopefully you like the concept behind it. I'm really excited to see where this can lead. It's going to be an interesting project, this one. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to it. If you did enjoy, smash the like button. If we get, 100 likes on this episode, I will try and get another episode up tonight for you guys. There is a deal. Hopefully you guys take it. But that just about wraps things up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any comments with regards to my club, maybe you know what's up with my staff members who are also players not turning up in my squad list, let me know down in the comments. And other than that, guys, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.